Welcome to Elsie's World. I'm Michael Elsie, and this Lexus belongs to my friend and YouTube legend, Freddie Tavarish Hernandez. It famously has 1 million miles on it, which is the equivalent of doing 40 laps around the world. If you are new here, I recently quit my job at the Lexus dealership to become an automotive YouTuber, and Tavarish challenged me with a nearly impossible task of restoring this LS400. Now, in the past episodes, we have fixed so much inside and out, and now currently the car has all the metalwork on the body complete, and the exterior has been epoxy primed, so now it's time to bodywork and paint this piece of history. So come on in and let's get started. The first step is to block down the epoxy primer so we can find all of our low and high spots that need to be bodyworked. The reason we do this is once there's shiny paint on the car, you will be able to see all these imperfections. It is very challenging to find these high and low spots in the car when it's in a dull flat color primer, so we use things like guide code to visually show us where these imperfections are located. As you can see in the video, there's darker areas where the flat sanding block is not making contact with the primer, which indicates a low spot. These can be fixed by skimming a light coat of body filler on there, and if there's enough thickness in the primer, you can keep sanding until the dark spot goes away. And well, this is what it looks like after multiple passes of getting everything as flat as possible. You can note most of these spots are where we had to do heavy metal work. You guys remember John? He helped me with my Supra. And the Supra's on the frame machine. That's John, he's the man. He's really good at everything, so he's over here giving us a huge hand on this because we got a lot of work to do. That's actually an understatement of the century. And as we look over here, John is now blocking this door. You can see his sanding strokes are going the full length of the door just to give it some nice consistency. It's now all hands on deck to get this thing bodyworked and blocked down so we can move on to the next step, which is polyester primer. We spent countless hours during this step of the restoration, sanding and blocking panels to get them as smooth and flat as possible. Now we do have a time deadline on this car, so we had to be very careful with time management during this step because some restoration shops will spend over a year on this part alone of the restoration, and that's why some restorations you hear costing over 6 figures for just the bodywork alone. Even after working all the metal on this hood, I realized there's so many small imperfections, and that's because of car track. Sanding down body filler is a lot harder than it looks. What you need to do is feather it out. As you can see around the edges, it gets very light, and you cannot even feel that when it gets to this point. Because if you can feel a hard edge, you're going to see a hard edge. In previous episodes, when we fixed this fender and these two doors, they were by far the worst parts of this car, but as you can imagine, it's taking a lot more bodywork to get these where we need them. And during this exciting moment, Jay gestures that we are number one, I think. Masking tape is one of the most simple but effective tools in the body shop industry. Jay is carefully making sure the body line stays straight and where it needs to be in the fender, which will work wonders for our final product. is close. It is pouring out here. Well, it just went from about 110 degrees to 100.
100% humidity.
Yeah, all the humidity. This is what happens in Alabama. Just so much humidity. Whew, good thing this car's not bare metal anymore. It's a mess in here. We have a huge update here on the Lexus. We have been doing a lot of sanding and a ton of bodywork on top of the epoxy primer. So that way the metal's sealed off, we're bodyworking on top of that. And of course we broke in through the metal in some places, so we'll spot prime those back. This has been kind of brutal. I'm not gonna lie, it's been brutal, but I can see the finish line now, so I'm feeling a lot better. I feel great and full of energy. Let's all give Jay a thanks in the comments below for really going above and beyond and helping me out here, getting this car straight again. Not only does it have 1,000,000 miles, this thing had a hard life. Jay, where do we go from here?
To the moon.
Hey, that's copyright.
What we know? You knew what you was getting into.
Yeah, I did. I knew it was gonna be bad, and then like as it went on, it got worse and worse and worse and worse. Even when I got here, it got worse. I don't know how, but it's getting there, so we're gonna keep chugging along. Now that most of the bodywork is complete, it's time to pre-fit the bumpers and make sure they fit right, and then we're gonna do something very cool with them that I'd like to share with you on how to properly prep these bumpers for paint. I'm now gonna demonstrate how guide coat works and why we use guide coat. Now you might have heard of a term called pig's tail before. That's what the scratches in a swirling motion in a paint job are called that are the result of a dual action sander. These can be sanded out with a finer grit sandpaper, and you can easily see that once you lay on the guide coat. If I don't successfully get all these out, they will be noticeable in the paint job, and Jack Builds It will make fun of me. We were going through so many materials, so I had to make many trips to my favorite paint supply place, Rosars in downtown Birmingham. Now that I'm back at the shop, it's time to get these side claddings ready for paint. As you notice, they are metallic silver and the top of the car is a pearl white. So need to get these prepped and ready for paint as well. Let's take a moment and think about how many times these door handles have been opened, and judging by the amount of claw marks in there from people's fingernails, I'm going to say at least 8, and I think that's accurate because these have about 8 layers of paint on them just like the rest of the car, so all this has to be stripped down. Next step is blow all the dust out of the car, get it masked up, and we're going to spray epoxy primer on the bare metal and then go over the whole car with a thick polyester PPG primer. The reason we are putting down a thick coat of polyester primer is so that we have a nice surface to block one more time before we lay down our sealer. Well, we had a little issue. If you could see our primer gun that Jay had, it was birthed in 1981. It kind of started dying on us, so we used his other primer gun, but we were successful. We just had a little setback and had to reprime the trunk lid. It's all good now, and now we were trying to not paint the door jambs and all the jambs, but we came this far and the car looks so good. We're gonna paint the jambs and they don't look good, and there's so much like overspray and buildup on them. We gotta fix that. So what we're doing here is making it look pretty like that and nice and clean, so that way the paint will actually stick to it. This is the polyester primer. This is the PPG primer, and we're just blocking it flat, which is pretty much done. Just a couple more spots to hit.
Yep.
Jay's dying a very slow, painful death on this LS400. It turned out to be, I mean, we knew it was bad, but
That ain't bad now.
it's not bad now, but geez, to get it here. This, sorry this video took so long to come out. This has been a lot of work.
I think we passed the overwhelmed feeling, you know.
Light at the end of the tunnel.
Absolutely, yeah, we're getting close. So.
Sick. All right. Things fine. I'm not freaking out at all. All right, I am knocking down this hard edge. So we finished up blocking down the rest of the car and cleaning all the overspray and dirt out of all the door jambs and rear body panel. Thankfully, John came over to help us out again on all of this. And then it's time to mask it up and get it back into the paint booth one last time. The time has come to finally paint the Lexus. Jay here, Solvent Division. Check him out on Instagram. This is gonna be really hard for him to do. Pretend I know nothing about the paint process.
You know nothing.
I really do know nothing. So can you walk us through? We've gotten up to polyester primer. What the heck do we do now?
There's a few steps we got to take since we did shoot polyester primer. You have to go over with a urethane sealer. This also helps with getting even coverage on our color. We'll let that flash off, do its thing, come back with our white base coat, and then we'll come back with what would be our pearl on top of the white, and then finish it off with our clear coat. All PPG and Deltron, so super nice stuff.
Might as well use some really good materials here. You obviously already spray PPG a lot.
Things changed halfway through the plan. We weren't going to do the jams, but found like previous paint work starting to let go, and we
all the flaking.
Yep, started to flake off. So we just went ahead and got rid of all that stuff. This is what puts the luxury in Lexus.
Ooh, the Lux.
The Lux.
So there's a lot of Lux, and that one can right there is. How's my gun doing?
It'll be alright.
She got a little clog. We got through that though. I thought it was the end of the world, like the band AEM said. It's the end of the world as we know it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
Never heard of it.
I asked this guy a lot. This guy has like picked up a lot here and has really hustled to get this thing where it's at.
Do you regret calling it a restoration?
Yes, heavily. A scuff and spray is what we should have called it, so we could have just rolled it in and out same day. You know, I like to come in and spray a little bit. This is all really nice material. This is very expensive. So
let's see what we can waste.
Jay, I'm gonna wait till we do a less important job. How about that? And I'll step in. I'll let you take the reins here.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Jay's got this.
Let me. Yeah.
All right. You go on stage. Two coats of base, 2 coats of pearl are done. What time is it, Jay?
Yes.
What are we about to spray, Jay?
Hopefully our last coat's of clear. BCU 2021 is a good product. The only reason we're doing this car.
You got to go by your painter's terms, and that's what we're doing.
That's what
We got the Deltron, baby. How do you mix this stuff?
I was looking for.
Oh, that's nice. They make that easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just put it right there on the can.
Cookbook right there.
Yeah, you have to reduce it and then put the hardener in so it gets hard, right? What's the reducer? Thins it out?
Helps it spray a lot. You can see how thick this shit is. Can I say that?
I'll beep that out. Yeah, that's thick.
Yeah. So we thin it out. Helps atomize it, which is breaks it down. Helps it spray a lot easier. All that stuff.
Spray this last coat of clear. I'm excited. We carefully masked off the vent stickers and body stickers because they are way too old to peel off. There's no way of saving them, so the best alternative is to carefully mask them off and clear coat over them to protect them for generations to come. What do you think? Went on kind of wet? A little heavy?
Boy.
Oh my goodness. It looks like you just poured water over it. That's the best compliment you can give a painter, by the way. Did you see his eyes light up? I've never seen him do that before.
It'll be dripping off the hood here in a second.
Oh! Hey Jay, what'd the doctor say to the chestnut?
I don't want to know.
Oh.
Our clear's flashed off.
We can go look at it now?
So we can go take a look at it.
Why'd you make me wait 30 minutes for this?
Just to make sure we ain't dripped it to the floor.
You do the honors.
Oh, me do the honor.
Open up. It really laid out so flat. There's like no texture to it.
Watch
So
your paws.
Is this why we get the expensive clear?
This is why we get expensive clear. Oh.
Dang. Bro, what'd you think?
Not bad. We gotta make sure we ain't got no hangers, but
Dude.
hey, we're good to go.
It looks very wet still. Can I touch it?
Don't touch it. Harvey Dent.
Oh yeah. Dude, Harvey Dent's gone.
We got a couple of nibs to get.
Remember how many dents there were in this? Like,
Don't remember.
oh my God, Jay, I thought you were kidding.
Shut up. Hey, you paid for the gallon, I gave you the gallon. Yeah, we can get that out. It's not that bad.
Okay.
Depending on, like, usually if it was up in this crevice, it'd probably be pretty tough, but seeing that it's on a flat panel, we can cut that off with a razor blade, wet sand, buff it flat. It'd be all right.
Okay.
Check this out. Come check this out.
Ooh.
How bad was this?
Oh, this is the famous
I don't know what you
the
did.
monster truck
what you did
Bondo filler. This was the Da Vinci. It was sculpted of Bondo. Seriously, we saved this fender. All right, so it looks perfect, right? The VIN sticker, the almighty VIN sticker, we taped it off so it doesn't get color on it, but then we clear coated over it to keep the clear from lifting and peeling and to help preserve this beautiful VIN sticker to prove that this is indeed the original Million Mile fender. It's so late and we can reconvene on this tomorrow. Are you gonna be able to sleep good now?
It ain't over yet.
When I arrived the next morning, Jay already had the car sitting out in the sun, gleaming like the true luxury Lexus that it is, showing off this beautiful pearl white color. It's Christmas morning here at Solvent Division. Let's open up our Million Mile present. Wrapped up real tight, son. Easy, man, that's a classic. By the way, my wardrobe came from the trunk of this car. Here you go. That is for me, and it fits.
Yeah, it's nice.
Thank you, Freddie. I washed it once.
I think it looks like 1,000,000 miles and $1,000,000 bucks.
I feel like we put $1 million worth of labor into it.
It's just too bad no one's gonna be able to look at it. It's too bright. Too bright.
You need sunglasses to look at it. Still very tired, mainly because those street tacos we got last night. Our celebration was quickly dampened because I forgot. We still have to paint these claddings metallic silver and a few other trim pieces that have to be painted white. Now here you see me using guide coat once again, but for different reasons here. You can see the texture and the primer and the guide coat filling in that texture. What I'm doing here is sanding it down with a nice flat sanding block so that way after this is painted, it's going to look laser straight. Clear coat. This stuff actually looks really cool matte, but it's gonna be so much better with clear coat. So yeah, this is how we do it. We got the two-tone done. Very nifty, very nifty. All right, people of YouTube, come into the booth with us. Let's get the last 2 coats of clear coat. John, are you a subscriber of Elsie's World? LLC?
Yes, I am.
You are a subscriber of Elsie's World?
I am.
Okay, well, you know what? Come on into the booth with us. We're all gonna party for the last coat going on the 1,000,000 mile Lexus LS 400. I just jinxed him so bad. Back at Solvent Division. The LS400's ready to pick up because Jay has cut and buffed it. And we had to wait a minute for all the paint to cure and all that, so we want to do this car the right way. We don't want to rush it. There it is! I am very excited. It is pearly white. Pearly. PPG pearl white.
The big old oyster for all that pearl.
Jay is not only a painter, he is a magician. Y'all remember what this fender and this bumper looked like? Well, look at it now. Jay, you can paint, do metal work.
Kinda and kinda.
My buddy Dave at Dave's Auto Glass came and took care of the glass. He removed it, reinstalled it. That's the guy who does all this stuff at the Lexus dealership. Known him for years. Amazing. Thank you so much, Dave's Auto Glass. You're the man. Hey Jay, I got like 2 more coming. I'm playing, but not really. Next.
Yep, roll this one out of here. We gotta make room.
All right, on to the next one. I'm gonna get this loaded on the trailer, take it back to the shop. I suppose you can see how excited I am to see this thing shining once again back to its former glory. And I am extremely eager to get this thing back to the shop to get it put back together and driving down the road. We're gonna heat it up just like Sasquatch does. After enjoying my shop pizza, I move on to reconditioning all this plastic trim with Chemical Guy's VRP dressing. Before I put the rear bumper reinforcement bar on, I'm gonna hit this thing with some cavity wax. This will help keep it from rusting in the future. Inside the frame rails, this is the same stuff we put on the 4Runner. We're doing everything we can to make sure this puppy's on the road in another 1,000,000 miles. And to do so, we need to keep it solid. Once again, I also got nice zinc coated new hardware for the rear reinforcement bar. The old bolts were rusting and that rust will spread. I continue pressing forward by reinstalling all the old parts with brand new hardware. So that's a lot of nuts and bolts and clips to reinstall, as well as having to clean all these parts before they go back on the car, because well, they're all very dirty and covered in overspray. It finally looks like a Lexus LS400 again, but it no longer looks like it has 1,000,000 miles on it. Oh, wow. This is magnificent. This was such a daunting project. And to see it coming along is really starting to pay off. So many clips everywhere. Well worth the efforts because it's starting to look so beautiful and so wholesome. See, if I could just put this weather strip and all these trim parts back on, I would have been done a long time ago, but that looks horrible. And that's what it looks like when I put it on. That's not acceptable. I can't do it. I gotta clean this. The car became a little too nice and clean. Now everything has to be nice and clean on the car. We were able to save it, and I feel good about that. After scrubbing all these old weather strips for many hours, I finally found this secret sauce, which is to use a red Scotch-Brite with lacquer thinner. The old overspray comes right off, and then you can go back behind it with this nice VRP conditioner to re-moisturize all the weather strip. It's looking good. I just snapped on the last cladding and oh my god, this thing is beautiful. I never thought I would say that. It's been getting hard to start, and I need to move it out here shortly. And now, it doesn't want to start at all. I think it's either fuel pump or ECU. That's what it does over and over. There's good news. There's an ECU over there. I'm gonna pull it out of that car and put it in the million-mile Lexus and see if it remedies the issue at hand. I removed the glove box, a very disgusting cabin air filter, and dropped the ECU out, but run into yet another issue. They're different part numbers, so unfortunately they're not compatible. I guess my parts car is slightly newer than the million-mile Lexus. I know you're busy, but there is a brand new Lexus LS400 in here. Check this thing out, son. Hold on. Oh, look, he's even gonna put that box down. What you think? It's the same car, I promise. Oh, makes you want another one, doesn't it?
It looks brand new. This is almost like a testament to like how extreme a difference it could be when car gets painted the right way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we saw what it looked like.
It looked like it had 1,000,000 miles on it. Now it looks like it's brand new.
Yeah, how many of these have you owned?
5 maybe.
5.
Between 400s and 430s.
I'm about to have another daughter, so I'm going to have 2 kids. You put your children in these cars, and they've actually been in collisions in them that I fixed for you. So
Actually,
you feel
there's another
safe.
one that I forgot. That's right.
Yeah, there's that one.
Yeah.
So that's 6. So you feel safe. Like, you think I'm good to drive my daughters around in this?
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
First of all, it's the coolest old man car there is.
It really
There
is.
is no, you can do it bone stock and it's still legit.
Dude, so I'm asking the people on YouTube what to do with these wheels. These wheels are destroying the look, so we're gonna, I don't know, dude, like factory color, make it match the claddings, or like...
Factory color with a nice detail in this car is all. Because a clean car with an ugly engine bay is a crime. I think this had duct tape on the intake.
Oh, you think? It sure does, and it still does.
We'll put some fresh duct tape on it. If that's what it takes.
Look at the weather strip. It's been cleaned and conditioned. I knew you'd like that.
Oh, man. I'm going to say, for anybody who has seen this car in person before they had before this happened, you're going to be shocked. Because it looked really good for a 1,000,000-mile car before. That's the thing. It just looks really good for a car now. I'm thinking you take this up to the Lexus place and trade it straight up for a new one. Straight up.
I don't know, man. I think this is an appreciating asset now.
Straight up. That's what I'm saying.
Like, I think this one's...
500. I'll give you the 400. We call it.
Just go for the 500.
Yeah, because this has got to be it. And it's got the gold package.
It does have the gold package, which obviously there's still a few little things I got to finish up here, but...
All right. If
Oh, no, his wheels are turning.
If you haven't seen a car get painted this sort of pearl tri-coat over again before, then you need to see this car. If you saw this car before and now you see it with this new pearl tri-coat on it, like, it's not going to be, you're not going to be able to comprehend how much better it looks.
Oh, for sure. I mean, this is what this tri-coat's supposed to look like. And this is PPG Deltron. We got the good stuff, so...
I actually think this looks better than factory because the clear coat's better. Because I'm looking at the side, the clear coat on these was never that nice.
We need to clean and condition this weather strip, but dude, before, like, remember all the peeling right here? Like, we had to jam this out and paint all the jams because if we didn't, all that was going to fail and ruin our paint job. So
I know you're probably going to cut this, but there's 1,000,000 miles on this engine.
yeah.
There's a 1J right there.
Yeah.
It's just a question of whether or not an LS needs a 1J in it to go the next 1,000,000 miles faster.
Put 1,000,000 miles on a 1JZ.
Faster.
Yes. Faster. How fast can we put 1,000,000 miles on a car? I mean,
it would be different, but that is a.
You just said this thing needs to stay stock.
Yes. Direct contradiction. Well,
hypocrite.
How about it's a 65-year-old lawyer who's got a need for speed on the weekend.
Yeah. Everyone's going to want to update on your Mark II Supra. So what happened with Bring a Trailer?
Sold on Bring a Trailer. Supposed to get picked up in the next couple days. And it's time to say goodbye, I guess, today. And
That's a sad day, man.
you just can't own every car.
Well, this car's kind of dead, so we got to push it out of the way to get the Supra out.
All right.
How depressing is that? It died. But it looks good. Have you ever had this happen where you fix one thing and then something else breaks? Yeah, it won't start. It just spins over.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I think if the ECU died or fuel pump or if the engine's just smoked. I don't know. But it just... Yeah, dude. It sounded horrible. Like...
So it ran when Jay got it.
It's Jay's fault.
Right?
Jay killed the 1,000,000-mile Lexus. Jay was blaming the duct tape after the mass airflow meter. He thinks that we might have lost the seal on the duct tape and it's not reading the air.
This engine will crank without that.
I don't know. We got to dig in and try to figure this out because I'm fine. Just a little worried.
So you didn't restore the 1,000,000-mile Lexus, you broke it. You broke the $1 million Lexus.
Well, you know, it was someone else's fault.
It's a paperweight. Now.
It's a
museum.
very beautiful paperweight. Anyways, we'll catch you next time. Stay tuned, and we're gonna dig in and figure out why it died.
Way to make the bad news, throw the bad news in right when you get ready to cut. Because, like, you could have led with that. You led with, like, oh, look how amazing this is. Oh, by the way, it's broken now.
Yeah, it's, you know, lots of highs and lows through this whole restoration. And
it's kind of like, hey, let's get a 350Z. I just need you to help me move it, and then find out later it's in the woods. It's kind of like...
Yeah, who would...
Like
that's
that.
a horrible friend.
Yes.
We fixed one thing. The body looks beautiful, but now the car won't run. I don't know what it is, but we'll get more into that later. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.